Is there a limit to God's grace? Let's talk about it. Maybe you've wrestled, with that exact question from time to time. Maybe guilt and shame have made you wonder if God is really still for you. My sister, my friend in Christ, that's exactly why we're here. This month, our theme is called The God Who Forgives. And today's thought, grace doesn't keep count, is where we're going to begin. When we think about the word grace, it's always, like a two-headed coin. There is one side of grace where human involvement, y'all, encounters real limitations. Have you ever shown, someone grace and they threw it back in your face? Yeah. Or maybe you were the one who actually threw it back. Think about it. Cain and Abel. In Genesis 4, y'all, Cain allowed jealousy to fester into murder against his brother Abel. Rather than accepting God's correction, he chose anger, rebellion, and violence. This was the ultimate picture of unforgiveness taken to its most destructive end. Cain was keeping score. Saul's heart had turned cold against David. Joseph's brothers loathed him because he had the love of his father Jacob. Y'all, the Pharisees and the Sadducees hated Jesus because he equated himself to be God. Every single one of these people withheld grace from someone else, still needing it themselves. And Jeremiah 17:9 tells us why. The heart, y'all, is deceptive above all things, desperately sick, desperately wicked. Who can understand it? And the truth is, y'all, we're not too far removed from any of these examples. We've all done things that should have disqualified us, right? And the sad thing that I remember about Cain was the fact that God still extended him grace after the crime. Now let's look at the flip side of this grace coin. We see in Psalm 103:8, it describes the Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in mercy. Y'all, thanks be to God. Because where our sin increased, God's grace increased even the more. No matter how far we have fallen, grace falls further. And that's exactly why, we don't use grace as an excuse to keep sinning. Y'all, we live differently because of grace. So let me ask you this. If God's grace found Cain in his worst moment, what makes you think that it can't find you or yours? We've all experienced grace with those strings attached, right? That human grace that has an expiration date, you've got to beat to their drums. Y'all, but God's grace, it operates on a completely different level. Where our grace gives up and it keeps score, His grace shows up and wipes the slate clean. Y'all, we bring debt. He brings grace. And I thank God that this is not human grace, y'all. This is the God kind of grace. I hope and pray that you are just as excited as I am about our new thing. Y'all, regardless of what side of this grace coin that you follow, I know that you can relate. Don't forget to like and please share the video because somebody needs to know that grace does not keep count. Until next time.